It's Jackie Van Workum, founder of Grieving Moms, Finding Hope. Welcome to Hope After the Landslide. Tonight we have a very special guest. Her name is Sarah, and I just met Sarah just this last week. You've seen Sarah making comments on some of the Facebook Lives prior to this, and I have to say that there is an awful lot of things that go behind these Facebook Lives, and you may never even know that. But I do truly believe that darkness does not want us to go on here because of the technical things. But today was Sarah just so courageously pushed through a very long day at work, and she made it happen to get on this Facebook Live tonight. We were going back and forth, and I thought, oh my gosh, those poor women are going to have to listen to Jackie again, all by herself. But here you are, Miss Beautiful, and I just want to welcome you. And first, I want to disclose, Sarah, to these moms again, what we were just talking about, which is, ladies, we are no professionals. This is Facebook Live, and this is definitely a mom, and she's just wanting to courageously share her story about what has happened to her daughter. And actually, before you do, I just want to laugh too, because I was in Hawaii, as you guys know, last week. And I have my tank top and my sundress, and now I have a North Face jacket on because it's heavy and cold in California, but boo-hoo, right? I'm just happy to be home and safe, getting to talk to you, Sarah. So would you like to say hi to the moms and like to share your story, my friend?
Sure. Well, hi, moms that are out there. Brooklyn was 1 year old. We were at a family member's house, and I believe that she slipped through a doggy door and drowned in a pool. I found her probably 5 minutes later, and she was floating on top of the water. We called the paramedics. They came. She was airlifted to Children's Hospital, and her official passaway date was July 15th.
Can we just take a moment, ladies, and just, wow, Sarah, that's aside from just losing your child, that is one of those nightmare things that a mom is always and a dad worried about, and it's happened to you. And we are also sorry to hear this story, because she was only, how old, like a year, right?
Yeah, she just turned 1. Her first birthday was on June 22nd.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, boy. So tell us how your reaction and what I'm sorry to interrupt you in your flow. I just had to take a moment because that is just so heavy.
When I found her, I really felt like God was comforting me. I felt like this embraced hug by him before I found her. And it brought me a lot of comfort because my faith is so strong. I believe that, things happen for a reason, and, there's just have to trust in God. And when I felt it, and then when we went to church that Sunday after she passed, I felt the same exact hug. And it was it warmed my heart knowing that she's with God. It was his way of telling me.
Mm-hmm.
But I was scared. I was nervous. I kind of got a little mad at myself, but at that point I just had to give it to God, and that's all you can do.
And you had your other little girl with you at that time.
Yes, I had little Maddie, and she was inside when it was all going on, when they were doing CPR.
And so it's like you're just in this place of disbelief this is happening, and then you've got your little girl who was what, 3, you said, or 2?
Yeah, she'll be 3 on May 31st.
Okay, so very, very young, because this is only 10 months out, correct? And so she's standing there, and it's like you can't even be there with her because it's just all this stuff that's just happening. And I loved what you shared with me earlier today about, including what you just said a moment ago, which was that you felt God just hugging you, and it's almost like you felt this sense of awareness of maybe that she wasn't going to even be with you for very long, right?
Yes, I did. I felt that on June 15th. We were celebrating my cousin's birthday, and just some intuition feeling I got. I was like God telling me like she, she's not going to be here. And at first I thought it was like, oh, I'm just being negative. Like, no, but it just kept getting stronger and stronger. And then the day of the accident, I kept telling my husband, like, no, let's not go over to the family member's house. Let's not go. I just have a bad feeling. I just, no, we gotta go. We gotta go celebrate the birthday. And before I walked out of the house, I said, I gave it to God. I said, look, whatever's meant to happen, it's in your hands now. Like, trust you, where it's gonna be. And that's just where it was. And we got there, and that's pretty much, found her in the spot. And
it just happens so fast. Every time that you hear these unfortunate drownings, they just seem to happen so fast, because many people, and I'm sure you probably had this then, which was, oh my gosh, Sarah, like, how could you have let that happen? Were you not watching her? And I'm sure that that does not, of course, make you feel any better, but people don't understand how fast an accident really happens.
yes, and kids are so fast. Like, they're, they're just fast. Like, that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, we were at a gathering and we were all having fun. It's not that we weren't paying attention to her or anything. It's just accidents happen.
Yeah.
It's honestly a tragic accident. And God just has a reason for it, when we just have to trust in Him.
I just really want to applaud you, my friend, for being here with all of us sharing this. And it's only been 10 months out, and very courageously. And as you guys know, I always say, what does courageous really mean? Which is telling the story from your heart. And that's exactly what you're doing. It's and trusting in the Lord. I want to take a moment, as I always do in the very beginning, and I want to say hi to Mary Diener, and I want to say hi to Kathy Taylor and Sherry and Margie and Yola, the other Kathy, Mary. I don't know if I said Margie. Thanks you guys for your ongoing support and being here with us, and taking the time to listen. And they're all sending such endearing comments too that you can probably look at later. So I want to first also, if any of you have experienced something like this and losing, someone to drowning, or a young, like a baby, such as, with Brooklyn, put your comments on there. And I also know that a lot of the moms are probably going to ask you, Sarah, what did you do, with your other little girl in the process to help her to get through losing her little sister, even though she's so young?
Well, a friend of ours had mentioned to have her watch The Lion King for the circle of life. Or a grievance counselor that I talked with that was made for like children. She had told me to plant seeds, and when one plant dies or and it grows, do it like that. There's also a children's book out there. I don't remember the name of it, but I could post it later. That it has pictures of heaven and everything like that. We call it the Sissy book. And I explained to her, like, because in the book the angel's named Gabby. And I say, this is Sissy right here. This is your angel, and I read it to her. But The Lion King is definitely a plus. The everything like that.
The Lion King. I mean, the circle of life. And when you even hear the song playing in my head as we're talking about it, that was great advice, because I do know that a lot of the moms have asked me that very question, like, what do you do? In fact, one of my leaders has, younger little children after the loss of her son. And if you don't mind, Michelle, we'll say your name. And she's having the time with the one little boy that was extremely close to him. And, the best advice obviously is, it unfortunately it's not a part of the life that we think is a part of the life, but it is a part of the life that we have to teach them, and we can't hide that from them. And they may not be able to understand completely yet, but as they get older and we keep talking about their brother or their sister, then it helps them to understand and get through it. And they will be, unfortunately, much stronger through this experience, even though we wish they'd never had to do that, right? So I know that I'm just going to randomly, because we had talked about some questions, because I knew that you were going to be getting off work and I didn't want to throw them at you. And so have you honestly been able, Sarah, to look up to God and stop asking that question, why? And what can I do with this loss, this horrific loss?
Yeah, I'm not mad at God. I'm not mad at him. I don't question him at all. And truthfully, in a weird, I do think because he knows the bigger picture. He could have been protecting her or us. Later we could have got home that night. She could have got kidnapped and murdered. She could have been poisoned to the earth. You honestly have to have your faith in God and your trust. That's the only thing that's been helping me through this whole thing.
Yeah, you're amazingly strong.
You just, you just have to have your faith.
Yeah.
And it's hard and you'll feel like you're going crazy, but have to give it to God, and that's just where it's at.
That's a statement that you just made, and some of the ladies, if you want to put on here, that if you have experienced what Sarah just said, which is, I feel like I'm going crazy, write that in the comments. From you. One thing about the statement, which is good news, to say that if you say, I feel like I'm going crazy, then know that you're not, because if you're going crazy for real, you won't be able to say that. If that makes sense. But if you have felt that way, and also I'd like to see where you're viewing from, if you want to put in the comments where you're watching Facebook Live here with our sweet Sarah on this little broadcast. Thank you for that. That's a beautiful thing to hang on to. And I think every grieving mom that I have talked to that is a believer does have this miraculous courage to be able to walk through this. And the other thing that we were talking about earlier today was one of the sessions in the servicing study, there's this book here that everybody's been getting involved in to get through this, is the session of letting go of some of your children's belongings. And, that can be such a touchy subject. And you were telling me about, Brooklyn's crib and how you were having a hard time getting rid of that. And then you shared with me what your thoughts were with that. Tell us what you're going to do.
I'm going to make a memory bench out of it, and I'm going to put
Isn't that great?
Stuffed animals, and I still have one of her bathing suits, and I have her shoes that she always wore, and I'm just going to make a little memory corner with her crib, and and just set it all there and put a picture next to it of Brooklyn.
I just love that. I mean, that is, just go outside and talk. I'm sure nowadays that we have Pinterest and different things where you could come up with ideas to, to treasure those belongings that you had. I mean, so many women, especially with you, it was only such a short time. And how about those moms out there that have had a stillborn and come home to all of the stuff to get the baby's room ready? And this could be a wonderful thing when they can, to be able to make something as a treasure out of the crib. And there's, I'm sure, a ton of ideas in it. I know that there's a sound that's happening in the background, and we were trying to reconcile that earlier. So just don't pay any attention to that sound. Just pay attention to what Sarah has to say here. We'll hopefully get that reconciled at some point. And if you guys have any questions while watching, listening, that you want to have Sarah and myself, and ladies, again, I want you to know that we're doing this Facebook Live. It appears that we are fine, right, Sarah? That we're to do this, and it's not to say that we are fine. We're going to have those moments that, she may get off and I may get off. We never know when a trigger's going to happen. And you all of a sudden just start to cry. And that's just part of our journey. And I'm sure you've had that happen, especially where you work. You've got people asking you all the time, right?
Yes, but it helps to talk about the passing of Brooklyn, because it you have to talk about it in order to heal. I feel,
Mm-hmm.
um, and not only that, but you have to get into hobbies too. Like, definitely, I've been sewing dresses. I bought a Cricut. But talking about it is definitely, you have to talk about it, because, and don't feel like when you talk about it with other people that never lost it, like, you don't talk about it to have people feel bad for you.
Yeah.
Because it's something on your mind and you have to talk about it.
Yeah. You want to
Um,
talk about it. You want to preserve their memory.
yes, and don't be afraid to keep them alive. Like, Madeline knows Brooklyn still, and I'll always talk about Brooklyn. That was her sissy. More like her jumping beanbag, but she just, you have to talk about it. If you don't talk about it, then, and it's great to find like another mother that's gone through the same thing you've gone through, and to talk about it with, because they're going to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'll have your family and friends that will be there to support you, and to listen, but I feel like when you go through something like this, you need to find that one person that you could trust, that's either gone through or didn't, that you could really rely on,
Yeah.
and keep your faith.
Yeah. And that's a good thing to ask, going back to the hobby statement, because I know we spoke of that too. That was, what did it take for you to just say, okay, I've got to start getting busy doing something? Has anybody here watching this evening found a hobby that they were able to go back to or start brand new and get themselves involved to, you don't like to say take your mind off of it, but you do have to have moments to where you just have a distraction.
Yeah, you have to keep your mind occupied. Like, as we all know, Brooklyn was 1 year old. There's a proven example: life is too short. You can make the best of it, and or you could sit at home, and I don't want to say like waste your life away, because you did go through a hard thing in your life, but you just have to give it to God, and and just have that trust. And the more you do the shoulda, woulda, couldas, it's
Hmm.
just gonna bring you down even more.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you just have to trust in God, and you have to find what you like to do, to keep your mind occupied. Like, a hobby is definitely a number one thing, I would say.
We've got some of the, Margie said, that's a great idea, Sarah. I have a pillow made out of one of my daughter's shirts in her bed. I know that there's been a ton, we've got ideas mentioned, the resurfacing as well, that we talk about quilts and pillows. And, I even have Randy's ink or ashes in my tattoo on my arm, to that extreme. It appears to be that it's on my end that this place is coming. I don't have no idea why, because I'm just sitting here. So I'm just gonna let you do all the talking, Sarah. You can just share, honestly and seriously. Like, I want you to say to how hard it was for you to find that hobby or go back to that. Like, what did you have to do every morning? Did you have to pray? What did you do to make yourself want to get yourself busy again?
See, it was pretty easy for me to, like, because I still have Madeline, I have to be here for,
Yeah.
strong for, and that makes it a lot easier for me. And maybe putting like positive quotes on your wall or
Ah,
something like, like just something, to get you motivated. It could just be a simple, hello, beautiful,
hmm.
keep a smile on your face, just something positive around. You know, um, who cares if it's just on a piece of paper and you tape it with duct tape? Who
Yeah.
cares? For you. Anybody, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just, like I said, you just have to do what's best for yourself. And even if you have to put a Bible and just wake up and flip a page, and just start reading that, if that helps you, you just need some positive impact on you.
And music is really good. Putting praise and worship on in the house.
Another thing that helped me is watching the movie The Shack.
Oh, that's right. Sharing that.
Yes, the movie The Shack was that, you have to be emotionally ready to watch it because you'll break. And I cried for 3 days straight, which it's not bad because crying is definitely healing. Like if you don't cry, you're not, there's something wrong with
Yeah,
you.
you've got to get it out, right?
Yes. And I have my moments where I break and I just cry all day long. I have my moments where I just want to be left alone, and that's totally normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay to feel like that.
Yes. Yes. If you can you see any of the comments that are below there on some of the moms at all?
Can't see any
Okay.
comment.
I'm gonna read one from Margie. I just know that I'm making everybody crack. I'm making this crack, not crack up, but I'm making it crack. So Margie's saying I'm struggling now. My daughter's birthday is this Thursday. She would have been 24. I feel lost, like I should be out birthday shopping and getting ready for it. We're going to have cake or cupcakes to celebrate, but down deep, I don't really feel like a celebration is that bad.
I don't think it's bad. You just have to do what's best for you, I, I'm gonna celebrate Brooklyn's birthday, and even I don't think it's bad. It's whatever you feel like, it's whatever your heart needs, but it might be a good thing to go out there and to buy cupcakes of her favorite color, to let a balloon go that says happy birthday and write a message,
Yeah,
you know. Um going to do her favorite thing and keeping occupied. But no, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. If you don't feel like doing it, you don't. Like,
I agree. And that's really good advice. I hope that helped you, Margie. And then Joy's calling in. She's viewing from Cedar Lake, Indiana. She's fighting the waves, the lies of despair, but determined to be joyful and hope, patient in affliction, and faithful in prayer. Awesome, Joy. And I always hesitate to say welcome to Grieving Moms, hope after the landslide, but here we are. And it's the best thing, as Sarah was saying earlier, to be linking together. And that's why we're always encouraging you through these Hope After the Landslide Facebook Lives to get yourself involved in being in a group with other moms. Sarah said it's too challenging. It's almost impossible to go through this unless you're able to have a conversation, just as you and I did earlier, just as we are having now in the midst of all these moms that are watching. And so on this Grieving Moms, or on this page right now, you can see there's a link above and that you can click on. It'll show you exactly how to get involved in a group, and you can do that online. You can do it live in your home, and however you feel is best. And there's different dates that you have available. It's very, very simple. You click a link. This is what I did with Sarah. Sarah, you get on this Facebook Live, you just click a link, and fortunately, she's very savvy with the computer. Got on just like that. You just had to get her out of work. Gosh darn it.
yeah, they were trying to keep me, definitely.
Yes, yes. And I like what you said about the quotes. I do remember you talking about that earlier today. And what was the other thing I was going to share? You had talked about, oh, I know. One of the things was we were talking about when you were, is it the hospital or somewhere when you started laughing?
It was when when they were working on her at my family's house, and I just started laughing because I was just so nervous, and also too I laughed when I saw her in the hospital and on life support, but towards the end of it, because in the state of California, after the accident, after 24 hours of an accident, if they haven't progressed, you could either keep them on life support because she was eventually going to go to brain death. Um, that could have been 2 weeks. It could have been 2 days. It could have been a year from now. And I just, when the doctors were talking to me, I was starting to laugh. Like, it was a nervous thing,
Yeah.
not a, it was just definitely, I get nervous. Yeah. When I laugh, I'm 90% of the time, I'm nervous in a situation like that.
So I shared with Sarah that when that happens, and you may have heard me talk about this because I'm so fascinated with the brain and the whole psychology aspect without taking anybody down that deep path. But when we smile, it is a way for us to cope because there's a chemical reaction happening in your body when you smile. It's the dopamine that is created within, and that helps to release these happy hormones that takes away. So when you see someone laughing, don't take offense to them. In any situation, not if you're just talking about grief, but in any situation, you see somebody laugh, you know them that they're being very cynical. That is typical of a response from people. And I'm sorry, you were going to say something, and I interrupted you.
Oh no.
Oh, see, I can't even say you're old and that you forgot, but see.
It's okay. Young people still get brain farts.
Yes. Oh my gosh. How many of you can say that you feel like, aside from saying you're going crazy, but feel like, in fact, I just shared this with a friend last night, I have lost and misplaced and said the dumbest things in the midst of this. And I want you all to know, see, Sarah's nodding her head saying, yes, this is normal. This is so totally normal. And that's because in your mind, you are so immersed in the trauma that has happened and you don't even sometimes even know it. You could be grocery shopping and you could walk out the door without pain. Now, that doesn't mean I did that. I'm just saying that's how extreme that it can be. And then because your mind is so consumed with this tragedy.
I lose my phone at least 3-4 times a day, and I lose my keys like 20 times a day. So
yes.
If it wasn't for my neck to attach my head on my shoulder, I would have been gone years ago.
Yes, yeah. So type in comments if you have felt this way, because we want you to know. Look at Margie says, yep, I have too. So ladies, this is so normal, and it will eventually kind of subside a little bit as we're going through, but it is so important to continue to love on yourself. As I keep saying, give yourself grace, talking to other moms, just by us sharing about that we misplace things. Because let me just say, if you're older, it's very easy to just blame that. And I'm going to just blame, to my son and be like, Randy, thank you very much that I can blame what's happened to you and not say that I'm old. That's the only humor I can come up with right now. Look at Sharon saying every day she's probably losing something too. So feel free to type anything in the comments that you guys would like to ask, because even after this broadcast is over, we go back and look at them and we try to answer them as best as we can. But the big message for us to share, aside from, I want you to all know that, again, I just met Sarah and I'm so honored to help her as a sister, a grieving sister that we can link arms with. And anybody can, ask me and talk to me if they want to come on here and share their story, because everybody's story is going to minister to another mom. Okay, so, and hi, Juanita from Santa Rosa. Oh, she's opened the fridge and she stares blankly saying, what in the world do I need in here? That's normal, Juanita. But if you feel like you want to share, you don't have to be this, like I said, crazy lady. It's just sharing the story from your heart. And look at Sarah. She's calm and she's cool and she's just had this hard day at work, but she's going to feel so blessed after she's done with this. So you can contact me, Jackie at grievingmoms.com, and we can have a conversation if you feel that this is something that is on your heart and you're led to do. And in the meantime, Please, ladies, get involved into a support group that's here with us. I know Sarah's like nodding her head because it's all the way over in Florida, but look we can stay connected this way. Do you have any
Yeah.
closing thoughts, Sarah?
Yes, actually, Grieving's mom has helped me tremendously. I recommend coming on every Tuesday to listen, or coming on the next day and watching it. Um, it's helped me a lot. If you know, um, or like I said, find a friend that you go to. But Grieving's moms is the best because you hear from other grieving mothers, and like Jackie, your son committed suicide, mine drowned. Other moms that went through a suicide could listen to you, and it'll help you. People that lost a kid to a drowning, they'll understand me with the drown. You just have to listen every week because everybody's story is different.
Yes, absolutely. Amen to that. And the link is at the top of this viewing here. I want to also just say if you are interested, in addition, and thank you, Sarah, for talking about grieving moms. And because honestly, friends, like this is my love to do this. This is how I am getting through it, is being able to be welcome into your home and the convenience of your home. You can also get the hope at Sunrise emails that can have straight to your email if you go on the grievingmoms.com website, and I believe the link will be up there for that. So, Sarah, thank you so very much. You are such a blessing, and so wonderful that we put this together so quickly. And because I kind of was on vacation and I hadn't been really, well, I shouldn't say I was writing, so I wasn't really looking to line people up. But it's just God. That's all I'm going to say. So thank you, and God bless you. And I know that you know where I'm at now, and we can continue to walk this journey together, as well as all of you moms that are out there. Again, feel free to put into the comments any questions and concerns you have, and we will look forward to seeing you guys hopefully in a Grieving Moms group, and it's here for you. I mean, there's support here for you. I love you guys, and we will see you next Tuesday. God bless.